Michael Bergstrom, the United States Undersecretary of Defense, receives the results of a recent HIV test and learns that he is HIV positive. Struggling to deal with the news, he calls his family, tells them how much he loves them, and later takes his own life. A week later in California, Angela Bennett is working from her home. She is a computer systems analyst who often helps clients remotely. One of her clients is having trouble with a video game, and Angela quickly figures out the problem and helps him fix it. The client is impressed and gratefully offers to take her out to dinner, but Angela politely declines.
You gotta eat.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Angela spends most of her time alone. That evening, she orders takeout and eats dinner at home while chatting online with other computer enthusiasts. During the conversation, some of the people she chats with show interest in her. Angela jokes about the type of man she would like to meet and uses that as a lighthearted way to turn down their advances. The next day, Angela visits her mother, who lives in a care facility because she suffers from Alzheimer's disease. Angela spends some time with her before saying goodbye. She explains that she will be leaving for a vacation in Mexico and may not see her for several days. Back at home, Angela prepares for her upcoming trip. While getting ready, she receives a floppy disk from a coworker named Dale. Although they have worked together, the two have never actually met in person. Curious about what Dale sent, Angela immediately inserts the disk into her computer and calls him. The two chat for a while and discuss a program on the disk called Mozart's Ghost. Dale asks Angela to open the program and follow a few instructions. As she explores it, he directs her to click on a small symbol hidden near the bottom of the screen. To Angela's surprise, doing so grants access to several secure websites that should normally be restricted. Dale explains that he believes something suspicious is going on. The hidden access appears to function as a backdoor, allowing users to bypass normal security measures. He has become increasingly concerned about what this could mean and wants to investigate further. Feeling that the matter is important, he asks Angela to meet him in person so they can discuss it. At first, Angela is hesitant. She is busy preparing for her vacation and is unsure whether she wants to get involved. However, after some discussion, she eventually agrees to meet Dale the following morning before leaving for the airport later that day. Determined to make the meeting, Dale boards a private aircraft and travels to meet her. Unfortunately, things do not go as planned during the flight.
Middle marker at 1,300 feet.
That's a negative. Execute a missed approach immediately.
Shit!
The next morning, Angela waits for Dale while continuing to pack her bags. Hours pass, and he never arrives. Concerned, she contacts her boss, Russ, hoping to find out what happened. Russ informs her that Dale has died. The news comes as a shock, and Angela is left confused by the sudden turn of events.
Dale's dead. His plane crashed last night outside LA.
Despite the situation, there is little she can do. With her vacation already planned and her flight scheduled, Angela decides to continue with her trip. She heads to the airport and goes through the usual delays and waiting that come with air travel. Eventually, her flight departs for Mexico. Once she arrives, Angela settles into the relaxing atmosphere of a beautiful beach resort. For the first time in a while, she is able to step away from work and enjoy some time for herself. Even while on vacation, however, she cannot completely stay away from computers. She occasionally checks her laptop, browses online, and spends some time exploring Mozart's Ghost. A few days into her vacation, Angela meets a charming man named Jack Devlin.
I'm Jack Devlin.
The two quickly get along and enjoy spending time together. Jack takes her out to dinner one evening, and they have a pleasant conversation while getting to know each other better. After dinner, they decide to take a walk along the beach. The night is calm, and everything seems to be going well. Suddenly, a mugger grabs Angela's purse and runs off toward the nearby woods. Jack immediately chases after the thief. However, it turns out that the mugger was hired by Jack himself, and when they get out of Angela's sight, the mugger gives Jack the purse, who takes out all of Angela's belongings and then goes back to her.
It's not here. It's not an hotel. Pero okay, dame dinero.
Later, Jack invites Angela onto his boat. While there, Angela helps clean and bandage a cut on his hand that he received while chasing the mugger. She thanks him for trying to recover her stolen belongings, and the two continue talking as they spend more time together. At one point, Jack heads below deck for a few minutes. Unknown to Angela, he secretly retrieves a handgun and appears to be preparing for something much more sinister. However, when he returns, the evening continues normally, and the two get closer to each other and eventually sleep together. Several hours later, while Jack is away from the main area of the boat, Angela accidentally discovers a loaded handgun inside his jacket. When Jack returns, Angela confronts him about the gun. Things quickly take a surprising turn. Jack reveals that he was actually one of the anonymous people Angela had interacted with online earlier. He also makes it clear that his intentions were never as innocent as they seemed. Jack grabs the gun and attempts to use it against her. Fortunately, Angela had already removed the bullets after finding the weapon. When Jack pulls the trigger, nothing happens. She grabs a nearby champagne bottle and strikes Jack, knocking him unconscious. She immediately starts searching the boat for the keys while looking for a way to get off safely. During her search, she discovers the mysterious Mozart's ghost floppy disk aboard the boat. Since the disk has already been connected to several strange events, eventually, Angela finds a small dinghy attached to the boat and manages to leave before Jack regains consciousness. He rushes after her, but Angela has already put some distance between them. Unfortunately, her escape does not go smoothly. Three days later, Angela wakes up in a hospital. She is confused and has little memory of what happened after the accident. Hospital staff explain that a local fisherman found her and rescued her from the water. As she recovers, Angela learns some bad news. The Mozart's ghost floppy disk was damaged beyond repair after being exposed to the sun and seawater. Whatever information it contained is now gone. Determined to figure out what is happening, Angela leaves the hospital and takes Jack's wallet with her as her only useful clue. She returns to her hotel, hoping to retrieve her belongings and continue her investigation. The hotel staff refuse to let her into her room. According to their records, that guest has already left. Angela tries to explain who she is, but nobody believes her. Without her passport or identification documents, she has no way to prove her identity. Looking for a solution, she contacts local authorities and requests temporary travel documents so she can return home. During the process, officials run a check using her information. The results leave Angela completely confused. The system says she is someone named Ruth Marks. According to the records, Angela Bennett seemingly does not exist anymore, and every official document now points to an entirely different identity. Angela tries to explain to the authorities that there has been a mistake and that she is not Ruth Marks. However, without any identification documents and with all official records pointing to Ruth Marks, she quickly realizes she has very few options. Wanting to get back home and sort everything out from there, she reluctantly accepts the temporary documents she has been given. Even though it feels wrong, she signs the paperwork using the name Ruth Marks and boards a flight back to the United States. When Angela arrives home, things immediately feel off. She heads to the airport parking area, expecting to find her car where she left it before her trip. Instead, the car is gone. This only adds to her growing suspicion that someone has been carefully erasing every trace of her identity. Determined to find answers, Angela takes a taxi to her house. When she gets there, she receives another unpleasant surprise. The property is completely empty and has been put up for sale. It looks as if nobody has lived there for days. Confused and frustrated, Angela enters the house to investigate. Inside, she encounters a real estate agent who is preparing the property for potential buyers. Angela insists that the house belongs to her, while the agent claims that the owner moved out recently and authorized the sale. The argument becomes heated enough that the police are called to settle the situation. When the officers arrive, Angela explains her story and tells them that someone has stolen her identity. Unfortunately, she still has no documents proving who she is. Trying to help resolve the situation, the officers speak with one of Angela's neighbors. Angela hopes the neighbor will immediately recognize her and confirm that she lives there. Instead, the neighbor backs up the real estate agent's version of events and says that the homeowner moved away several days earlier. Angela is shocked. One of the officers takes Angela's temporary visa and returns to his patrol car to run a background check. Since the document identifies her as Ruth Marks, that is the name entered into the system. The records show that Ruth Marks has a criminal history. As soon as the officers see the information, they decide they need to take Angela into custody. Realizing she is about to be arrested for crimes she knows nothing about, Angela acts quickly. She grabs the real estate agent's phone and escapes through the back of the house before the officers can stop her. At the same time, Jack spots Angela from a distance. He has been keeping track of her movements and immediately begins following her in his car. Angela manages to avoid both the police and Jack for the moment. She hides in some nearby bushes and uses the stolen phone to call Cathedral Software, hoping to reach her boss, Russ. The employee who answers tells Angela that Russ no longer works for the company. Confused, she asks more questions and learns something even stranger. Someone else has taken over her position at the company. Moments later, the woman now using Angela's identity gets on the phone. Angela is stunned to hear an imposter pretending to be her. The fake Angela already seems fully established in her life, with coworkers accepting her as the real employee. The imposter does not waste time explaining anything. Instead, she demands that Angela return the mysterious floppy disk. With nowhere else to turn, Angela contacts the one person she believes might still recognize her, her former therapist. Dr. Alan Champion. Dr. Champion listens to her story and agrees to help. He quickly meets up with Angela and takes her to a hotel where she can stay hidden for the time being. Once they are safely inside, Angela tells him everything that has happened since her trip to Mexico. She explains how her identity has been replaced, how official records now identify her as Ruth Marks, and how people seem to have forgotten who she is. She is especially worried about her mother, who suffers from Alzheimer's disease and lives in a care facility. Since her mother's condition makes her vulnerable, Angela fears that whoever is targeting her could also try to use her mother. Angela asks Dr. Champion to move her mother to a secure facility under a different name to keep her safe. Dr. Champion agrees and promises to handle the arrangements. Before leaving, he also decides to contact a friend of his named Ben, who works for the FBI. Hoping federal authorities can make sense of the situation, Dr. Champion asks Ben for assistance. The next morning, Angela decides to investigate one of the clues she found in Jack's wallet. Using information connected to the mysterious gatekeeper system, she accesses a secure website and eventually reaches the database of Bethesda Naval Hospital. While looking through confidential files, Angela discovers something surprising. According to the records, Michael Bergstrom, the government official who recently died after being told he was HIV positive, may have been misdiagnosed. The information suggests that the test results he received were incorrect. Wanting answers, she logs into her usual online chat rooms and asks other computer experts if they recognize the strange pi symbol that appeared in the software she received from Dale. One of the users, known as Cyberbob, immediately recognizes it. Cyberbob explains that the symbol is associated with a notorious cyber terrorist group called Praetorian. According to him, the group has been linked to multiple computer system failures and security breaches that have affected several cities in recent days. The information gives Angela a possible lead. If Praetorian is behind these incidents, they may also be responsible for stealing her identity and altering government records. Cyberbob agrees to explain more in person and arranges to meet Angela the following day at the Santa Monica Pier. Meanwhile, Jack continues keeping tabs on Angela. At one point, he follows Dr. Alan Champion as the doctor goes to a pharmacy to refill a prescription. A few hours later, Dr. Champion visits Angela and checks on her. Since Angela is preparing to meet Cyberbob, the doctor offers to drive her to the meeting. While talking with Dr. Champion, Angela makes a dark joke about her situation. She remarks that maybe if something happens to her and an autopsy is performed, people will finally realize she is not Ruth Marks. While driving, Dr. Champion suddenly becomes ill and collapses behind the wheel. Angela manages to get help, and he is rushed to a hospital for treatment. Concerned about her friend, Angela stays long enough to make sure he is receiving medical attention. Once she is told that doctors are taking care of him, she decides to continue to her meeting with Cyberbob. She heads to the Santa Monica Pier where a busy carnival is taking place. The area is crowded with visitors, making it difficult to spot the person she is looking for. As Angela searches through the crowd, Jack suddenly approaches her. He manages to isolate her from the crowd and attempts to talk to her privately. Angela eventually returns to the hospital hoping to check on Dr. Champion. Unfortunately, she learns that he has died. The loss is devastating because Dr. Champion was one of the few people who believed her story and was actively trying to help. Now feeling completely alone again, Angela takes the doctor's car and leaves the city. Not long afterward, she notices police vehicles following her. Unknown to Angela, authorities have received reports claiming that the vehicle she is driving has been stolen. The officers quickly catch up to her and place her under arrest. Without any way to prove her identity, and with multiple false records working against her, Angela finds herself back in custody. She spends the next few days in jail, feeling more trapped than ever. Every attempt to clear her name seems to create new problems, and the people behind the conspiracy continue staying one step ahead. Just when it seems like she has run out of options, help finally arrives. FBI agent Ben, the friend Dr. Champion contacted before his death, comes to see her. After reviewing the situation, Ben apologizes for everything that has happened and acknowledges that she has been caught in a much larger scheme. Ben arranges for Angela's release and takes her out of jail. While being driven to a supposedly safe location by FBI agent Ben, Angela starts paying close attention to the details of their conversation. The more she thinks about it, the more suspicious she becomes. Certain things do not add up, and she realizes that Ben may not be who he claims to be. Before long, Angela figures out that this Ben is actually another imposter connected to the people who have been hunting her. Knowing she is in serious danger, she takes a desperate chance and causes their car to crash. The accident gives her an opportunity to escape. Angela quickly gets out of the vehicle and runs away before anyone can stop her. That night, she checks into a small local motel and keeps a low profile. While watching the news, she learns that the man posing as Ben died in the crash. To make matters worse, news reports identify Angela as the main suspect in the incident. The following morning, Angela decides to stop running and start gathering proof. She hitchhikes her way to Cathedral Systems, the company where she used to work before her identity was stolen. After arriving, she quietly enters the building and makes her way into the operations area. Since she knows the company's systems well, she is able to move around without attracting too much attention. Inside, Angela spots an available computer and begins investigating. Using her technical skills, she identifies the woman who has been impersonating her and starts looking for information that might explain everything that has happened. To buy herself some time, Angela triggers the building's fire alarm. The alarm forces employees to evacuate, creating enough confusion for her to continue her search without interruption. Once the room is empty, she goes directly to the imposter's workstation. Angela carefully searches through files, emails, and company records. As she digs deeper, she finally uncovers the truth behind the conspiracy. She learns that a major software company called Greg's Microsystems is connected to the cyber-terrorist group Praetorian. The company is run by CEO Jeff Gregg, who has secretly been working with the organization. According to the information Angela finds, Praetorian deliberately sabotages computer systems belonging to businesses, government agencies, and other organizations. After the damage is done, Jeff Gregg's company steps in and sells them a security product called Gatekeeper. The software contains a hidden back door that allows its creators to access sensitive information whenever they want. This means Greg's Microsystems profits twice. Angela also discovers that both Jack and the woman impersonating her are members of Praetorian and have been involved in the operation from the beginning. Knowing she finally has the evidence she needs, Angela copies everything onto a floppy disk. However, Jack soon spots her moving through the crowd and begins following her. The imposter joins the search, and together they track Angela to a large computer convention taking place nearby. Angela hopes the crowd will make it harder for her pursuers to find her. Unfortunately, Jack and the imposter eventually catch up with her. The two confront Angela and mock her efforts to expose them. They believe they still have complete control over the situation. Angela, however, has already taken steps to protect the information she uncovered. Using the convention's computer systems, she manages to send the evidence to the authorities before Jack can stop her. The information reaches the FBI. Realizing they are losing control, Jack and the imposter chase Angela through the convention center. During the chase, Jack accidentally shoots the imposter. The injury proves fatal, leaving him alone to continue pursuing Angela. In the struggle that follows, Angela manages to gain the upper hand and sends Jack over the edge of the balcony. His injuries prove fatal, bringing an end to the threat he posed. After reviewing the evidence Angela sent, the FBI launches action against those responsible. Jeff Gregg is arrested, and the conspiracy surrounding Praetorian and Gatekeeper begins to unravel. The film ends on a peaceful note. Angela returns to her home and spends time with her mother. After everything she has endured, she is finally able to enjoy a quiet moment, gardening in the backyard and moving forward with her life.